Another hill. This one happens to be made of asphalt, so it's nice and relatively smooth. Think of this as a flat floor. It is a flat floor. The only thing is, it's on an incline. So what you do on that flat floor back in a home to walk and move about is the same thing you do on this flat floor here on the incline. Just that you need to adjust your posture a little differently for the changing angle, and you need to do it a little bit better. Standing on the side of this, leaning towards the top of the hill, I have a lot of pressure on the inside of my right foot and increased pressure on the outside of my left foot. Not as much, and that's always going to be the case. Now, to walk down the hill, keeping our posture leaning towards the top of the hill, adjust, get towards the heels, and then everything, transfer body weight, flexing of the foot, everything is done the exact same way. Coming up, shoulders forward, pressure further out, balls and toes areas of the feet. Keep that pressure there and dig in and push, push, push harder to overcome gravity to come up towards the top of the hill. Not a problem. And once you're here, don't lose it. Don't give it up. Hold yourself here. Keep that posture the same because you're still on the hill. A lot of people will forget that. And that's when they have their accidents. Oh, here we have another hill. The good part about this location is at the top it's flat and at the bottom it's flat. So we're going to work with this just a little bit. Doing these hills, going up and down and walking on the side of the hill. Now, as we talked about with the other hill that we were on, we're always leaning towards the top. Head and shoulders go towards the top of the hill. Feet are always pushing towards the bottom of the hill. No matter if you're going up, going down, or standing on the side of it, it's all the same. You want to stand to the relative flatness of the earth, which is the same thing as all these trees growing up out of the ground. Let's get to it here and see what we have. I'm going to walk down this hill and then back up and notice that the angle of it changes. This is pretty flat here, then it's steeper, and then it's flat again. So I want you just to watch my posture, see what happens. Now going up. You should have noticed a little bit of change in my posture. Let me do it a little bit slower. Here, I'm just starting down, so I need to be a little bit straighter. Here, it's steeper. I need to come back a little bit more. A little bit steeper here, back more, increase pressure towards my heels. Holding that as I come down, steeper more here, not as steep, almost flat, flat. Okay, up. I need to hold this all the way because if I don't, I'm going to do that. And that's a big issue many people get into. They'll be coming up the hill and they'll get tired, they'll get lazy, they'll start to relax upward before they completed up the hill. And when they start to come up a little bit, as I just did there, and yes, I did that on purpose, you will start to stutter, step back. Why? because you've moved that pressure from the toes in the ball area of your foot slightly backwards. Now you don't have the push. And now gravity is saying, come back to me, pulling you back downhill. Actually, you're pushing yourself back down the hill as well because that pressure is getting back where it's not supposed to be. Okay, so lean towards the top, push to the bottom. When you're on the side of the hill, stopping and then turning around, for many of you, that is something you just don't do because it's so uncomfortable and it's so dangerous. I used to be that way too. But lean towards the top, push to the bottom. Now, as I'm standing here, I'm going to have increased pressure on the outside of this right foot, and it's on the inside of the left foot. I need to keep it there as I walk this way. And notice that my left knee is pretty much extended and my right knee is very much flexed. Holding that posture, turning around to go this way, now increase pressure on my right foot on the inside, increase pressure on the outside of my left foot. And then need to maintain it there as I walk this side of this hill. And I'm not trying to straighten this knee when I come out there. I'm leaving it flexed. So it feels like I'm kind of limping. Do you have to do this? What do I mean by do I have to do this? Do you have to do this? Whoop, what happened there? I started to relax up a little bit more, got back on my heels a little bit. I was still on the hill. So when I started coming up here and looking to the camera, it changed the position of my shoulders just a little bit, not much at all. But on the hill, that's all it takes. It doesn't take much. So you have to be more careful out here. Now, what am I doing here? Well, there's a little hill behind me right there. See it? What happened to cause me to kind of trip up the hill? Same thing. Shoulders back, and now I'm pushing myself backwards. All of this stuff works the exact same way as it does on the open, big flat floor. It's just when you're out here, you need to be a little more careful. You need to be a little more accurate, a little more precise with your movements, a little bit more relaxed in your posture to be able to negotiate these things. Just you have to be able to do them better. Takes more effort, yeah. Takes a little bit more strength. Takes a little bit everything being better. It's not that many of you cannot do this. It's more of many of you don't know how to keep yourself stable to do this. Yes, many of you are too weak to be able to do this. Well, get out there and start working it. Get those muscles stronger, give you more of the ability you would like to have, and find out. But you have to ask yourself, is it worth that effort to be able to do some of these things? Well, to me, yes, it's worth every little bit of it. But on an individual basis, you have to make that determination yourself. You have to ask yourself, am I worth that effort? Either you say, yes, I'm worth the effort. I'm going to give it all I can to improve my situation, or you don't, or you do something in between. It's all a personal choice. So, are you worth it? And the answer.